Authority through humility. Jesus was the most incredible model of humility imaginable. That is God, who is the creator of the whole universe, deploying himself in an aspect of himself, or I don't know how the workings work, but to come to earth and be an example of what love is. And love washes people's feet, even if love is God. Love says the thing that's hard to say, in obedience to the Father. Love does the thing that's impossibly hard to do, even when everything in love's physical form says no way. The humility that is evidenced through Jesus' life and his behaviors it seems to be unmatchable, but the promise is that these two and greater will you do. So perhaps we will all find our way to that level of love and that level of humility. So when you have that level of humility, you are in service of God, and that's where the authority comes from. If God is backing you up and you're so humble that you are absolutely listening for the cues and you're doing everything he asks you to do, and you're obedient even when it's not in your imagined best interest in the moment, that is the authority that comes from perfect alignment with God, perfect humility. And it is definitely a goal of mine. I would like to share a little bit of something that happened at Dysfunction Junction last night. Dysfunction Junction is something we do every Monday in Earthwaking Village. It lasts up to 5, sometimes more, 6. It's probably gone 7 or so hours. And we sit in a circle and we talk about dysfunction, ours and others, and we get into all kinds of drama together. And last night was one of the highlights, probably the most amazing Dysfunction Junction ever, and one of the most amazing things anybody could ever imagine witnessing. But we are so hot on the notion of finding our humility and living in it so that we can be obedient children of God, listening for the cues, not operating in our own imagined interests, which are really counter to our interests, but we don't always know that as human beings with these sins implanted in us forever. So what happened was one person said that flipping bokashi, which is basically feces, which is something that gets done to serve the garden, and we're eating a lot of food out of that garden these days, is one of the most humbling things. You know, a person who had all kinds of accomplishments in life who's sitting in there twice a day flipping shit, basically, and with all the attendant smells and heat and everything that's going on there. He said that really broke his ego. So we came up with the idea that certain people in the village that were having a little trouble having their egos dissolved, dismantled, should do that. And then at some point the idea that they should do it and pay for it, or anybody could come here and spend some time, 40 days flipping bokashi, and that will, dismantle your ego. That's worth $5,000, right? Well, to one person in the village, it actually is. To another person who was really, really, really having trouble, and she put her house, she's not having a good day, I'll tell you that much, but she was building a house here, and she put that on the altar. Other people put relationships that they knew were dysfunctional on the altar. I put something on the altar I'm not really going to go into at this point, but it was very challenging for me. I'll describe the aspect of it. It was my commitment to my righteous goodness. There's certain things that, if everything that you want is on the other side of something that you're dead certain about, that's a tenet in Earthwaking. I'm dead certain about certain aspects of what is a good person, what they do, and I'm dead wrong about some of those things. I'm not positive about the thing that I did something, out of my own comfort zone with goodness. But I have a pretty good suspicion because everybody in the village thinks I'm nuts. So I'm like, okay, I'll put that thing on the altar. I am willing to have God's authority be the power in my life through my humility. It's a little bit of an effort, but I'm all for it. Amen.